We are live. John is eating Chinese takeout. What you got, Jimmy John's?
Uh, Jersey Mike's.
Jersey Mike's. I should have known. I
Yeah,
seen the fucking logo and still said Jimmy John's.
I haven't had Jersey Mike's in like 3 years, but I figured I'd save my steak for breakfast, so I'm eating this tonight.
I killed Steak and Shake today.
Mm,
Still
I love.
paying. Me too. I'm addicted to some Steak and Shake.
Yeah, I got one right over by my work, and I have to fight myself from going in there all the time and just eating way too much of stuff I shouldn't eat.
You'd be so strong. That was one of the secrets to all my horsepower back in the day.
I'd be strong, but I'd be 190 pounds, and I ain't strong no more at 190 when I'm facing 198 guys. You know
This
what I
is the
mean?
story of
Yeah,
my life.
I don't want to get too strong and get strong out of my weight class. Then you ain't shit no more. All right, this needs to pop up. I'm trying to.
Keep reminding me.
Here we go. All right.
Jesus, dogs are fighting. Hold on.
Yep. I'm just going to share this around. Copy link.
Fucking fighting Frenchies. Most aggressive French bulldogs you ever seen.
Uh,
Ridiculous.
come on, come on. What's art of there?
Notifications out. Let's get someone in here. We need a good guest today. Who we want?
I invited Wiz, but I don't know what he's doing. He's probably cooking tortellini, getting everybody sick. Uh,
Let's send Trent the link. See if we can get him on today.
all right, okay, here. Let's just send these out there. Send the link out to a couple of people to so they get in the chat. You know, Austin Wade just turned 23 on Christmas.
Didn't that hurt your feelings when he posted
Yeah.
that? I
Bro,
cringed a little. A piece of me died inside knowing I'm almost 40.
yeah, and he's too damn strong to be 23 years old. I should be able to smack a 23-year-old round, and I ain't smacking nothing to do with him. he, he's a
Yeah,
savage, man.
I haven't beat him in 4 years, 5 years.
Yeah,
Last
he's
last time I pinned him was probably like 2018 or 19. The kid is fucking. You get better, and then he gets better.
yeah. I gripped up with him back in April at the Armageddon tournament, and man, his hand doesn't move. It's pretty incredible how strong he is. He he's awesome. But yeah, 23 years old. I was like, man, I figured he's 25 something. Nope, 23. He's just a youngin, just strong as hell.
Yeah, I think arm wrestling age doesn't matter. It's literally just age in the game, right? Like you're 3 years old, I'm 10, 50, 12 years old.
Right.
That's all it really is because you could almost line up the North American top 10 list and
Mhm.
excluding a couple young guys, probably not young guys. Chance is probably the only young guy on there. Derek is like 40. He just
Yeah,
looks,
yeah,
and Austin Jaggers has got to at least be my age. Um,
right.
he's like 15 years old. It's just been a bunch of testosterone. No, I'm kidding. So I think Chance is probably the only young guy on there, and you could pretty much those are like, you could rank the list probably by who's been arm wrestling the longest
Yeah,
in a lot of ways. The other thing
man.
that's weird about rankings for super heavy, I was thinking about this the other day. Um, the ranking isn't like a linear thing where the heavyweight matters as much as the lightweight
Right.
as far as experience because you could probably get like 100 lightweight guys and some of the new guys will be competitive with some of the best because the power isn't
Can
as
only
yeah, the
right.
power is not as unattainable. A lot of it's more in the joints and the skeleton and the lighter classes.
Right.
As you go up, it's an accumulative thing, right? So like if you're 16 and you're 300 pounds and you're 43 and you're 300 pounds, it's probably not the same,
No.
you know. But that could be argued that Alan Fisher and Jarrett Ryan aren't the same either.
Yeah.
Um,
But
but
now,
I see it like one thing with the heavier classes is there's not only are you that big, but a lot of times it took longer to get that big. Like
right.
they weren't fucking 18 years old and 300 pounds.
Yeah. And also at 300 pounds, when you get those super heavies, not everybody's the same. You got a 5'8" guy who's 300 pounds is different than a 6'6" monster at 300 pounds. That the size difference changes. Like most of the 176 guys are between, 5'7" and 6 foot tall.
Yeah, if you're a super heavyweight and you can't beat guys that are bigger than you, I
Mm-hmm.
don't respect. I don't really respect your level. Sure, I respect you're strong and could fucking beat me or something, but like, if you're, you know, 370 pounds and you can't beat, you only beat guys smaller than you don't pull up ever. I
Right.
would love to be in that position too. I would love to exclusively arm wrestle smaller people. So that's one thing that the bigger, the range is so big from 250 pounds to 370. These are very different people. Not to say that the three, once you get above 300 pounds, usually it just is all fat. That's what we've seen, at least in this sport.
Right.
300 pounds.
Unless you're one of those, yeah. I mean, some of those guys are just freaky though. You get guys that are 6'9". He can be 350 pounds and not hardly anything on him. Looks skinny almost at that size until he's up close. But
Like I was against the heavier weight classes. Like a lot of people have spoke up for it. I think Brandon was one of the big proponents of it. Talked like a 265 class or a 308, whatever. But that is how powerlifting addressed it because it's kind of fucked. Like it doesn't matter to me, right? I'm some skinny guy. You're small. We're just a bunch of smaller dudes arm wrestling in the big
Mhm.
scheme. We're kind of like the average size person. The average
Yep.
fit dude is like 170 to 190 pounds.
Yep.
So it doesn't really represent us, but you got a fucking guy that's 243 because he couldn't pull. He pulled at the strict weigh-ins, and then you got the guy that's 390. It's a long day.
That's a
Now,
lot.
side of that is we could say at Flow Arm we seen a Josh Bonelli that's maybe 255 and Zach Cannon that's like 355. And they were very evenly matched. So it's not to say it doesn't matter at all, but hell of a weight class, man. I've pulled supers a lot back in the day when I was super gassed up and heavier.
Right.
And it never phased me. I never cared if the guy was 320 or 250. I actually preferred if he's real big, because I just found that those guys weren't very strong. What I thought the guys I didn't want to pull as a 210 pounder pulling supers was like fucking juice monster, like Dane
Right.
or like Shark, somebody that could get into an angle and hold it out. When I would arm wrestle a lot of guys that were just huge dudes, they couldn't lock out.
Yeah.
So
And
they
they're a
might,
lot slower.
yeah. So even though I would be small as hell, I could get in my spot, stay, and eventually open them. And that first the blur to it had it looking like you had a silver beard on here. I thought you had the old man filter at first. I was like, oh shit.
That's because he's getting strong.
Mm-hmm.
He's turning into Daniel Worley slowly.
He
You're
looks so much like
two
Daniel
you're
Worley.
two elbow injuries away from turning into Dan completely.
Hey, you two look like siblings, or
So
you're
you
a
gotta
son.
be. Y'all
Yeah.
gotta be related.
Everybody thinks we're brothers. It's crazy.
Hey, you hang out with someone too
Oh,
long.
let's be honest. Let's be honest, Trent. The genetic pool is not that diverse in the Black St. Augustine area.
It's not.
Can't
It's
be.
not.
It can't be. All the women look the same. All the dudes look the same. Listen, bro. I went to West Virginia, and as soon as I walked in there, every single person looked like my kid's mom from West Virginia. I see Travis's wife look like everybody looks the same. all the dudes look the same. Everyone's dressed the same. And I realized, oh shit, this is like there might be a little bit of everyone's got the same great grandfather in this town 200 years ago, right? He founded the town, and this is his family.
Yeah, and he had 38 kids. And here we are.
I think that's happening in Palaca too. There's a certain style we talk about a couple times from Palaca, St. Augustine. It's the forward hat, the curly hair on the sides, the like the fishing shirt that's got like the slit in the back. They'll have the khakis on, some Hey Dudes.
Right, don't talk shit about the Hey Dudes now.
Or some
don't talk shit about the Hey Dudes.
I'm not talking shit. I'm not talking shit about the Sperry's. There might be some Sperry's. They'll have some Sperry's on. Jackson,
I got them too.
Yeah, the young guys in Jacksonville look like that too, right?
Pops Newman said that tree has no branches.
It's just interesting because in Orlando, that is not the style, and not that I live in, but that's not the style at all. And then you see it and you go there and like, that is what's
cool. Orlando is basketball shorts and freaking Jordans. Everybody's wearing basketball shorts and Jordans.
This is what Orlando is. Orlando is a wife beater, basketball shorts, and then they'll have the Jordan slides with socks. Yeah. That'll be how it is in Orlando, walking through the mall.
Mm-hmm.
If you've seen one, you see 100 of them. Everybody
Tom said the family tree has no branches. It's just a trunk.
That's why I had to find my old lady out of town. I couldn't date nobody in town. Might be kin to them.
But at least you'll add some looks back into the gene pool.
That's it. Right. I'm trying my best.
Something's got to change out there. Ashley, the entire genetic diversity of Palaca, Florida is dependent upon you.
Oh, God.
So you need to have about 8 babies with Trent, and then they all need to have kids from out of town.
Thank God she's not out here with me.
Outcrossing.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't afford that. Never mind.
Hey, you should be happy.
You've seen my house. I can't afford it. I just be eating noodles.
I know you can't afford it. You don't want to afford it.
Hell no. I got too many toys.
I know. Each kid you have is 4 4-wheelers.
Yeah, I ain't sharing. Fuck that.
That's it. It's at least not the 4-wheelers, right?
I ain't sharing nothing. They better go out and get their own. I had to.
I like this guy said, "What's up, motherfuckers?" with the FAC. It dawned on me today that we got to embrace the FAC, right?
That's badass. I didn't realize that's what that was. That's good.
I like that.
Damn.
That'll be on a shirt by tomorrow. From $9.99, you could have your own. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I already ordered one. No.
He's already got 2.
He's making his own. He ain't waiting on you.
Shit, I don't know how to do it.
See, when you're secretly gonna find out all those old bootleg FAL shops were me. Y'all thought they were like Nigerians scamming it. It was really just me.
You got a press out there in the shed.
It's still me. Your own. Just bootlegging FAL stuff at this now. That's awesome. Josh says he was only 239 that day and he destroyed Zach. Calm down.
242 class.
That was not destroying. That was a war. You won the war.
It was a great match.
It was a fucking great match. I think it was the best match of the day.
That Maverick and George match was really good too.
I was gonna say that that one. We're just so biased. We gotta quit giving George. You know what's happening? We're starting to become some
fangirls. What the hell?
Fangirls of George.
Is it bad that I bought into that big ass thing in Tennessee next year just so I can watch George whoop everybody? I'm like, I'll just go sign in just so I can go watch.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell y'all, LeRae fucked that up. He fucked it up by picking the guys already. And this is no disrespect to anybody. You can't have a nationals and have it be invitation only. That defeats the purpose of a national. There's no qualifier going up to it. And I love LeRae. I'll support LeRae, help him. I'll come work his event if he wanted. But you can't just come out and pick the first guys that sign up. If you do, that's fine. But you have to understand the level of competition will suffer. That, in my opinion, that only really had Dustin Hyatt on that list. There was like it could have had. There's a lot of names in 76 that it didn't have. I was I was bummed out to see that it was finalized and there were a lot of people missing.
Mm-hmm.
Here.
But I think I had Tevis, Hyatt, Zach Hayden, Zach Lee.
It's got Hunters on it.
Yeah,
George.
Hunter.
There's going to be some really good matches.
I'm at the point now where I think Hunter's going to go bust everybody at 76 too. I really do. I think in that he's about to be in. I think he's everybody.
It's very, very possible. Very, very possible.
Nah, 76 is I believe. Well, this is my thing. Is I don't think that. I just think, dude, like, so you're gonna tell me if Corey Miller, Jeff Hale, and Luke Kent all want in, they're not invited to this national now?
I'll give them my spot and still go.
Well, that's what I'm getting at. So this is how I would have structured it, right? I'm Lorraine. I would have said anybody wants in, the first money buys in. Once you bought in, now the hype is crazy. All 32 spots are filled. You could now, if you wanted, you purchased your spot, you could sell your spot if you like. Because then you create a scenario where at the last minute, these fucking spots, this could be $1,000. At the last minute when Kent's like, hey, you know what? I'll just give you $500, dog. Give me that spot. I'm about to win the $3,000. So that's the way I would have done it. I would have had it where spots could still be swapped out. And he could still probably do that. But that's where it gets fucking fun, right? Where Trent's like, hey, you know what? I ain't gonna be able to make it. Who wants to buy it? And he creates a bidding war for his spot. That would make Laray's shit so exclusive when people are having a bidding war for the opportunity to buy into your tournament. When I see him close the gap, if he closed it, he didn't have something where like he purchased it, could get the alternate. That's where I was a little bit bummed because I liked the guys that were in there, but I knew there were a lot of names missing. And when you say it's closed, you've pretty much already decided the level. Like it can't get any higher level, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But that being said, it looked crazy. The other thing Laray's got to be careful of is advertising $28,000 and then not paying $28,000. Because that advertisement, and I'm not speaking down on him. I know he's got it under control, but that looks like it was at full participation. That's the prize money for full participation, right? All the classes at 32. And the only reason I even say this is when you got 30 fucking guys fighting it out for a prize, they're going to expect the prize you advertise. So I would have put a little asterisk there that said, $28,000, assuming all classes have 32. Up to, exactly. But we just seen a tournament here that had a $10,000 prize and it was really a points race. So it was a finale payout. So you just got to be careful. I know in the world of lawsuits, you can be held liable for anything that you advertise as a prize if somebody can prove that they were going to win it, very likely. So Laray, $28,000 is super dope. If it ends up working out, it's fucking amazing. He's killing it right now. He's got all the hype. But I would add in if I was him, and I'm not, and it doesn't fucking really matter what I would do, but I would make it where Trent could then sell his spot to Jeff Hale if he needed to. Right? Where it's not just, hey, let me pick. When you get into, we've seen this with WAL. When it's one guy picking, it becomes a dictatorship. This is what I tried to stay away from with FAL a lot, right? And WAL became no fun because you no longer had a way to win your way in the tournament. What I would have done is maybe pre-sold 20, 25 spots, and then I'd had 7 or 8 that you could have won at different moments, where we would win it and award it to this guy or that, but that being said, it's definitely the biggest, it has the potential to be the biggest thing we've seen for the classes. I think with some of these things, arm wrestlers they're kind of half committed to it and getting 32. I would have a hard time getting 32 guys from each class to fly across the country all on the same day and then hope I don't have any
hiccups.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why nationals is usually so big, is because it's not invitation only. But if he pulls it off, dude, it's badass. And Laray has, like, he's probably hungry as fuck, eat, sleep, and breathe in promotion right now. So I would bet for him. I wouldn't bet against him. I think
Yeah.
he'll do. I know he's an honest person, so he's
I think
not.
Yeah, I think the fact that he's doing these round robins and he's doing so well with them, and everybody's kind of building trust with him and stuff, I think that makes him have a good chance of it because I can see it happen. It's a long shot for everything to line up perfectly.
Well,
But
it's hard, and anything badass is a long shot. But no, you were not wrong, Trent. Back to the beginning for buying in. Did you pay yet? Did you have to pay?
No, he says he's gonna ask for it, but he hasn't asked for it yet. I think he's gonna wait
I fucked it up, Lorray. You
closer on.
fucked it up. You didn't get the money and you already blocked it out. 26 of them 32 guys ain't got the $100. I promise. I can offer you right now 500 a car for $500 and you will not send me $500. Everyone just can't make it happen. I know here, Lorray, you got to get them people to sign. They got to pay. You got to get their $100 and before. So he just locked in on a commitment.
I think so.
Jesus Christ, the whole world should have just committed. You can always back out. So yeah, you're fucking genius, Trent. For you committed to possibly the biggest tournament of the year next year for $0.
And I'm like, I got a year to train. Why not?
All right.
Carl's like, hey, go.
Send them the Cash App. Send all 32 of them guys Cash App tonight so that you understand who's serious, who's not. Because a motherfucker like Jeff Hale, he'll send you that when he's ready to come. You don't want to bet. Listen, I seen the list, dog. They're good arm wrestlers. A lot of them are okie dokes. They're fucking minnows in a shark pond. You know, they're going to get ate up. A lot of them. I'm not saying you.
I mean, that's it. The 76 is pretty stacked. I mean, you got Dusty Hyatt, you got George.
That's what I'm saying. You got killers out there, and dude, this is no slight. I love every single 76 guy. This is like probably the friendliest weight class in arm wrestling. For me, it's always been exciting. I'm not hating on anybody, but you've got a lot of dudes in there that already locked in a spot that could have been a guy that's badass. That could imagine if it was 32 guys like it was at WAL, where it was I went to WAL. There were 39 in the class. I was the worst one in the class. The absolute fucking worst. There was nobody I looked at that it was favorited to. I was favorited to beat. And that's when I knew I was like, holy shit, the level of this competition. So yeah, the tournament's going to be dope regardless. But Lorray, if you see this, you got to get the money from them. Don't let them lock in a spot without the money.
There's some pretty good names on this list.
Tell me the names. I'm going to be fucking critical right here. I'm making enemies. Tell me. Read them in order.
Okay. Damian Schlosser.
I fucking destroy that guy. Come on. Keep going.
Lance Hahn.
Who?
Lance Hahn.
Never heard of him. He's probably good.
He just pulled Austin Tevis, lost to him, but so does everybody else.
Sure. Sure.
Dalton Duncan.
Kid's good. He's a legit killer.
Jeff Boatjar.
He's a mid-tier guy on the list. Jeff, you're fucking genius for locking in your spot. Yep. He has the ability to upset some names.
Yeah. Aiden LeMay. Don't know him.
Don't know him.
Hunter Welch.
Hunter's a mid-tier. I mean, listen, I love all this mid-tier. I get when you got 32 guys. It just sucks that let's pretend this. I just want to say theoretically, let's pretend that none of the good guys seen the posts for 2 or 3 days. And you've got the entire 32 of the biggest possible tournament is only mid-tier guys. That's okay. I'm not hating on mid-tier. I'm a fucking mid-tier guy at this point, right? But what I'm getting at is you locked it in to not be an elite event.
Right. Now, look, I will say some of the better names, okay?
No. Don't say it better. You go through all 32. We got nothing but time. I got all the energy in the world tonight.
Chris Harrison.
Who the fuck is that guy? I'm not seeing anybody on this list.
From Tennessee. He's decent.
If I don't know you, you're not going to win the tournament. And that's okay. But if you filled the tournament with a bunch of guys that won't win it, I would have at least got their money first. If they paid, hey, fuck it. I'm just saying, we got to get dude, there's a lot of good guys. If there's big money, there's a lot of guys at the last minute that are going to want to enter. See what happens with the high-level arm wrestlers, they don't commit to everything because half the shit falls apart. And promoters are fucking liars. So they commit to nothing. When they see, hey, it's going to be there, that's when they show up. It's just like the Olympia 3 years ago, when Artem won and Sarah won. Nobody fucking went because we didn't think the money would be there.
Yeah, Dave Chafee flew in like right before like his
That's
match.
what I'm saying. So and I'm over here just juicing up fucking Laray's event. It's free promotion for you, Laray. But
Okay.
expand it to 64, Laray. 64. Let's go. Get the money.
Who we got now? Travis Camp.
Travis has got a good. Travis is good. Travis is pretty good.
I mean,
I think he just beat Kevin Palkin not too long ago.
Kevin Palco's a 154 guy, though.
Yeah, but he pulls a lot of 176 tournaments, 176 guys.
I pull a lot of super heavyweight tournaments. When a super heavyweight beats me, it don't mean a fucking thing, though.
Hey, when's the win?
Has Kevin Palco ever won a 198 class in his life? No, I'm not insulting him, but has it?
I don't know.
There's fucking 76 guys that'll win supers, 220s, 240s all the way through. That's what I'm saying is it sucks if we don't get those guys involved too. But I'm living vicariously through Laray. So
right. Jarrett Batone. He's pretty strong. George Whitfield.
Never heard of him.
Oh,
never heard of him. Heard of his dad. Never heard of
her. Chance Holiday. You know that guy? Yeah,
I'm not
round robin.
All you guys, I don't fucking know you though. And if I don't know you, you can't beat me. And if you can't beat me, you can't fucking beat the guy that's gonna win it. That's all I'm getting at. I know every single person that can beat me's name. I know all the names. If you're not gonna beat, that's what I'm getting at is I could enter that and take 5th place. I should enter that and take 16th place, though, is what I'm getting at. If we make it a real fucking like national level where we can determine the nation, like when we hear the word, I'm only saying this because it has the word national, because that's like how you fucking figure out who's the baddest in the nation, right? We got to go to the national.
There's the names on here though, on this side of it, for sure.
Keep going. I'm waiting to hear
them. But you got Dan Schwartz, that's a guy about to pull in Puerto Rico. JT Alexander. Heath Chisty, Colin Hamblin, Hunter Noss. He's gonna win the fucking thing, probably. Watch. Joel Cagle, Corey Johnston. You know him, right?
I've seen him.
Okay. David Robinson, no idea.
Played for the Spurs. Got a couple NBA games.
Timothy Kylenin.
You see what I'm getting at, John? That's all. Listen, it's not to disrespect any of these guys with these weird fucking names, but we should have left a couple slots open for some real bad motherfuckers.
Look, there's Bill Logston next. Boom.
Bill Logston, bad motherfucker, right? You should never be able to have a 176 thing and not have a guy like Bill Logston involved.
And then you got Wes Terry, Alex Beck, Alec Guth. Don't know that. Austin Tevis. He was a bad motherfucker.
Let me ask you this. On paper, it looks exciting. After we talked about it, none of us here are very excited. That's what I'm getting at. It makes it to where the
Prince don't get top 16.
Well, I listen, the round robins that were the invite only, that shit is hard. Like that 198 round robin Artem was in with everyone else. Ray, that was the craziest shit. Like from a standpoint of me tuning, I don't fucking watch arm wrestling at all. I don't really care about watching these videos all the time. We got our own scene. But I mean, I had to hunt that out and watch match by match and replay it. So that's all. I would like to see it as a 32-man version of something of that caliber. And I get not everybody can be a Trent Johns or a Dustin Hyatt, but you should kind of, before you close it, I would leave some openings for the Dustin Hyatts and the Millers, the I don't know who else is ranked very high, the Trent Johns. But did you go ahead and did you get on there too, John?
No, I didn't get on there right-handed. I'll be on there left. There's no point in me pulling right-handed. Come on now.
So okay.
It's for the mid-tier guys on the left, you know.
No, you'll do great left. I just fucking I'm having a hard time grasping that you were able to reserve your spot by just saying your name and commitment.
Yeah.
But I'm glad. I mean, maybe it's internal jealousy that I didn't like secretly reserve me a spot for a year from now just in case. But I like how I like the idea of being able to sell it.
Yeah.
Then it's like everyone reserves their Cybertruck, but no one's actually buying it. They're just selling it to the rich fucking guy that was too lazy to log on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's exciting. I'll be honest with you though. Our 76 class in Florida, we could go out there and hang with all them guys. You got Austin Tevis, Knopfs, Hyatt. Those are the real threats that I heard on there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Our 76 class got pretty good pretty quickly.
It got great real quick. And I think you remember in the beginning of the year, I used to shame the 76 class. We had no one ranked. We didn't have anything going on.
This guy that just beat Jerry, Joe.
Bro, what the fuck? First of all, that guy looks a little too much like me, huh?
That dude looks like
we gotta have a talk about that. He has the same fucking like long body with a big head like I do. His silhouette and mine and his shadow would be way too similar, except he might be taller than me.
Hey, he's fucking dangerous.
I know. Dude, when I fucking watched him, I seen at the WL or not WL, God, not WL, the FAL finals, and I seen him mowing through people, and I was like, "Fuck, who is this guy?" You like everything, you're measuring yourself, so I'm like, I probably can't beat him. And then I find out he's fucking in Florida. My heart sunk even deeper.
He's from Delaware. He was at Daniels this past weekend. Me and him pulled a little bit and was talking and stuff. He's from Delaware, and he just moved here, and he's training with Chuck and all them. And dude, he's got probably one of the nastiest top rolls I've ever felt. He's got so much just length and just leverage, and he just sits back on it and there's nothing you can. You just gotta.
I feel like I already have a rivalry with this guy, and I as soon as I seen, I know that I fucking have to face him soon.
He'll be a top 2, top 3 guy, right-hander for sure. He don't pull left. I don't know why, but he doesn't pull left at all.
What's his name?
Joe
Schaefer.
Joe Schaefer. I'm calling you out. Come to the flow arm.
He has got a nasty top roll.
Oh, he's 6'4". Nah, fuck that. I recant that. I didn't know he's 6'4".
Hey, he looked like he was 220 pounds.
His biceps are bigger than his thighs. He's all shoulders and biceps. And he's got a hand the size of a baseball mitt.
Yeah, he looks pretty good.
And legs like Deontay Wilder.
Hell yeah. That's the build I'm trying to get. Hey.
SpongeBob SquarePants?
Absolutely. Hey, I come home and walk on my hands. I don't use them legs for nothing. I stand at the table like Bambi over there, legs shaking, brother, hold me up.
Dude, I watched that fucking Deontay fight. It looked like he got out of a wheelchair and started boxing. Like I'm serious. I fucking my friend got shot and paralyzed. And his fucking legs were so skinny. And Deontay Wilder, my boy looked like he was a bodybuilder compared to Deontay Wilder. Pitiful. Yeah. One leg kick, he would be done. Is the 76 class the main one that Larray posted that was filled up, or did he have the other?
That was the only one. The 76 right was the only one he posted being filled up.
I think 98s are full. I think that's it. I think the 54s, the 220s, the 242s, and the supers are all still trying to find guys. I think the 76 already full.
Clip this and send this to Larray. Larray, I'm gonna make you a lot of money right now. Okay, this is how you do it. Immediately message everybody and tell them that you need their commitment within the next 72 hours. You're going to get most of these guys to do it, and then extend it with an additional 32 spots that are available for buy-in. That's what I would do immediately. If you're getting that level of commitment and the amount of people that are saying they're going to go, you need to instantly get them to pay. Getting them to pay will get them to come.
I think what he's done, from what I read, is that he's got us 32 on there, and then he's got a list of backups, like first come.
A
like,
list of backups. Jesus Christ! If the backups are any better than any of the guys on the list,
he's got a list of it. People that didn't sign up in time. If somebody drops out or doesn't pay, that he'll let them know and they can sign up.
that's what I'm getting. Is when you make it a frenzy, like a sneaker purchase, you will never make it very elite.
Right.
It's not how athletes pick and choose their dates that they're going to and stuff. They don't that's really not how high level competitive people will do. So that if he's got already without the 1,000 extra people that are probably going to want to go last minute, fuck it, open it up, start collecting the money, kid. If I had 32 people committing to each flow arm class right now, I would say let's pay and let's open up 32 more.
Right.
You know, like, why not? Let's make it the biggest thing of the century. So, Larray, you should capture the buzz, capture the heat you got. And then if you really got them classes filled up and these boys will really pay, open that bitch up to like 64. And you would have the biggest class ever.
He needs to make a deal with the damn airlines. Get everything popping out there. That's a lot of people to commit. A lot of classes.
That's what I'm getting at is you're gonna run into plane stuff, all sorts of shit. 32 guys is tough to arrange. But dude,
Yeah,
you know,
one class being 32 people would be a lot to get out there.
yeah, you gotta respect his balls.
Yeah, that's
Huge fucking watermelon nuts that to say some shit like that, post the flyer, and then just keep rolling with it. Just, you know, this is how all ideas are. When you shoot for the stars, initially everybody tells you you fucking can't jump that high. No one's ever jumped that high. It's not possible. They don't know you got a fucking rocket, right? Like, you know, after a while, when they see your full plan and you're halfway there, everybody in the world's like, oh, I'm in. So Larray is still in the phase with doubters. So if he's got that much buzz in the early phase where you can still get some hate, there gets a point when you're at with your idea when if it's a good idea and it's really working and all makes sense, it'll be snowballing so big that it's gathering steam faster than people can talk it down. You know, this where he posted it, it could have been shut down. A bunch of people could have clowned it and said this is crazy and nobody cared. And he looked like a dork with all this stuff posted up and no one cared. That's not what happened at all, though, because he was ballsy as hell. Like I seen it, it was slow. It was like 2 people, 3, couple guys like, I'm in. Well, hell, I'm in if it's that. And I think John comment, a couple people say that, and the next thing I know, it's closed. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you could, you know, if you have the potential to get them guys locked in, get them locked in and open it up.
Yeah, this shit's awesome. Hopefully it works out. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, biggest bracket I ever seen in my life is 39 in Atlantic City at WAL.
That's a monster class.
I seen 29 at UAL once in my class. Massive classes. I'm over here on the side. I've been arm wrestling like 6 months. Corey Miller is the champ, so he's not in the tournament. The winner of the tournament basically gets to pull him for the belt. And I'm, who's this guy? Oh, that's fucking so and so. Oh yeah, fuck that guy. Boom, whack him. Who's this guy? Oh, that's so and so. Whack him. Next thing I know, I see this little guy who looks like little tiny blonde guy. I'm like, who's Craig Sanders? He's like, he's fast. I'm like, fuck that guy. Boom. About dislocates my arm, tears. I mean, instantly flashes me. And from that moment on in the tournament, I took Corey Miller's advice serious. Those couple guys, he was amping him up, and I'm like, that fucking guy's a bum. That guy's a bum. And then he tries to tell me Craig Sanders is legit, and I'm like, nah, that guy, he's too little. Of course.
Yeah.
Flash City. I mean, they say go when I'm touching the pad, but these are huge classes. I took a loss in the 39-man class, second match to Quinlan in Atlantic City, and I had 7 more matches, and I still was 9th place.
Pretty good day.
Well, no, because I didn't fucking make top 8 to get on ESPN. It was a horrible day. But that's what the
If you were a
classes.
little bit better,
It's a fucked up day. Listen, here's how bad it was when I beat Chad Silvers. They announced it as top 8. I go sit down and I'm celebrating, and then I hear me called back up, and they're like, Brandon Morris versus Eric Racine from Canada. And I'm like, and he's like fucking sitting here like foaming at the mouth at the table. And I'm like, God, like I knew, I was blown away. But you're talking, dude, from the B side, second match, 6-7 matches to still take 9th place. That's how big the bracket becomes when you get into 30, 40 people. So it would be exciting. I'll go to it. That's the thing. That's why I like that it got a lot of support. A lot of people are such haters that they won't support nothing, right? Like, oh, I ain't going to that. I ain't going to, especially if it's like a young and up and comer or a a guy that's new to some shit. But I'll go to it. Middle of Tennessee, why not?
yeah, sounds like fun. It'll be almost as much fun as January 13th flow arm tournament.
Tell me more about that, John.
It's going to be at Euphoria, right?
Okay, we're going back to the home field.
I love that place. The only thing I don't care for is the parking. Other than that, that place is
I
great.
gotta teach him how to cook some fucking wings, though, dog.
I can hardly ever eat on tournament days.
Yeah, I don't eat.
You know what? You and Chase. You remember Chase? That
Chase.
little Brock Lesnar looking dude I was training last year.
Yeah. What happened to that guy? Where'd he go? Oh, never mind. I remember.
He's actually, I don't know where he's doing good. I seen him. He's fresh back from vacation. But you and him are the most nervous motherfuckers at a tournament. I swear to God, I remember him. He'd be like, bro, I just can't do it. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Are you okay? He's like, I'm so nervous. I'm like, it's okay. He ain't gonna hit you. But
some people, the competition drive is very high.
well, it's also a thing that'll make you strong is being scared, right? Like the nerves. Anyone that's like anyone that says they're not nervous is full of shit, right? Everybody's nervous. But I think after a while you're in so many moments in arm wrestling. That's the one thing that can't be replicated, even if y'all are both the same strength. A lot of people, and I trick a lot of people with this in super matches and shit, it's happening so fast. He ain't never dealt with the ref yelling at him and they're about to say go, whether you like it or not. The shit's going down. It's chaotic.
You're talking shit the whole time.
Yeah, and that moment will frazzle people. And I'm having time of my life. I'm fucking smiling. This is, I'm happy to be here. My nerves are at a 0 in that moment. I'm enjoying myself. And so I think that sometimes will give me the fucking edge where the guy he fucking gets too nervous and freaks out or makes a mistake. So I seen you at practice, dude. You're a fucking beast, and then you get in 98s and almost win the tournament at the Flow Arm Party. Beat Kevin Sams, bunch. And Kevin Sams is beating. He's got wins on Maverick, and Maverick's beating Jor. This is like a level above you. This is, but or one more notch up, right? And then when you're relaxed, you elevate to that level like naturally.
Yeah, I'm a lot better relaxed.
Yeah, we got to get you like some beta blockers before you go up there. The fucking Tom Brady special. They be shooting guns at him. That motherfucker be calm, huh? What's up?
Hey,
Never.
You do it enough, it won't matter anymore.
That's it.
I wrestled for years and it never really went away though. I'd be thrown up in between matches, go bust somebody's ass, and I don't know. Terrible.
I remember it because when I was first arm wrestling, like my whole existence was about to go down in the moment when they said go. But now, I still like when I get that feeling now, I'm like, well, you little bitch. Like you've been here 1,000 times. This ain't new to you.
The only time I really get like nervous, I'd say, is out of state. Like Florida, we've pulled here so much, it's just like pulling all your friends. Like I just don't really care. Like out of state is when I normally get like red. Like I don't know the guys. I don't know anybody around there. It's a whole different nerves for me. Florida, I don't really get that nervous or really care too much anymore. I've kind of lost the juice in here, but going out of state's always different. Different feeling. Yeah, lost the juice.
Oh, you need to get back on that. Oh.
For sure.
Yeah, you got a big match coming up, Trent.
Do I?
Let's talk about that actually.
I got a
We
match coming up.
yeah, we haven't talked about that.
Hmm.
Got Trent is pulling, correct me if I'm wrong, it's Adam Hernandez,
Yes, it
Yeah.
is.
right-handed, best of 5.
Yep. He looks like a big, strong kid too.
He's tall as shit. He's fucking tall.
We're all tall. We're
He
all
has-
tall, Trent.
Thadiel and Wesley. Like,
I've watched some of his practice. He's a taller guy for sure. But I mean, I'm 5'9" on a good day. So I mean, everybody's tall to me. That's no big deal.
Yeah, you're 5'9", you're claiming? Is it we're doing this again?
yeah.
I
So
said on a good day, yes, I am 5'9".
Ashley, come to the camera real quick, please.
She's in the shower. Sorry, she can't.
What's her mom? What's your mom's name? Pamela?
Yeah,
Pamela, can you get me the tape measure, please?
you're such an ass.
Well, I'm gonna tell if you're 5'9", I'm 6'4", and my name's Joe Schaefer.
Hey, I'm 5'10", and
Yeah, you're a little taller than me.
yeah, I'm 5'10" because there ain't no way I'm saying I'm 5'11". I'm too damn small and skinny for that.
Let's we got some time on here. Let's go over have a little segment called Arm Wrestlers True Heights.
Oh God.
Okay. You guys in the comment section, go ahead and comment in arm wrestler. And we will make the judgment on what we believe their true height to be. And if you're shorter than this guy, I don't even want to hear you comment on how tall you think he is, because there's no way you could tell from down there.
All of a sudden, Brandon's 6'5", I guess.
No, I'm not the tallest in Florida. Who's the
No.
tallest?
Joe Schaefer.
Joe Schaefer. Fuck.
That's your big brother.
Irvin is pretty tall.
Yeah, he's 6'5" or so, I think.
Taylor Dykes, I think, is the biggest.
Yeah, he's like fucking 6'5", 6'6". He's huge.
Brandon Williams, he's one of the taller ones. Okay, let's see. Beast Aesthetics. What is that? That's Palumbo in his underwear? Is that real picture? Is him in some underwear?
Yeah, he did some bodybuilding stuff, it looked like. He does everything. The dude's a freak, man.
Yeah. Well,
dude dives 300 feet down and pets manatees and shit.
Yeah, out in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico, out there swimming down to freaking sunken ships and stuff. What's wrong with this guy?
He's the most interesting. Hey, listen, you're out there fishing. He comes up with some gold hair, locks of hair. Hey, what's up, man? Just down here hanging out.
Yeah, he's a freaky athlete, though, man. That's incredible.
5'11". We're gonna be like the Kenny KO of arm wrestling, right? We just walk up and check your stats. I'll give him credit. I think he is 5'11".
Yeah, I figured he's about 5'11", 6 foot, right around there.
I would have even said he could be 6 foot. He's got great posture, though, right? Does anyone have better posture than this guy?
No,
probably not.
Fuck, done nothing but lower back exercises his whole life. He's saying Trent is 5'8.5".
I'll take it.
Yeah, I'll say, hey, and Trent's gonna take it because he's really 5'8".
I'm really not. I really am 5'9", I swear.
That's right. If you call me 6'1.5", I'm not taking it. I'll go get the tape measure and we'll battle it out before that, right? Because I know. So yeah,
I will get it. Hold on, tomorrow I will get a tape measure out my truck and I will have Ashley measure me, and it'll be 5'9". I guarantee it.
Do this. Have Daniel Worley measure you.
He's shorter than me.
Well, have him stand on a stool.
Really?
We're about the same height.
Really? Not really?
Yeah, we really are.
Who guys? Who y'all think is taller, Daniel Worley or Trent Johns?
Daniel
Kevin
Worley.
Q is saying 5'7".
For him or Trent?
Yeah.
Asshole.
Kevin, are you Trent's height? Tell us that if you yourself are claiming 5'7", which I would assume is probably likely. What point let me ask you this, guys, and this is no slight, but what point does it not matter anymore?
At 5'10".
That's for me. Listen,
Fuck.
yeah, I was gonna say at 6 foot. So like, I don't give a fuck if you claim 5'11", 5'10". It's the same thing to me. But is a guy claiming 5'7" and 5'8", is that the same thing, or is it like disrespectful to call the 5'8" guy 5'7"? Is that rude?
No, I think the only ones that get really upset are the 5'5" guys that are like
Yeah,
5'5".
5'5" and under.
Five.
Really
Okay, that's the
Yeah.
point where it doesn't matter. So if you're
Yeah.
fucking 5'4", you'll tell them I'm 5'3". They just know you're short as fuck. Like,
Yeah. Well, Paul Italia claims 5'6" all day, and I don't know if that's true or not. But
he
I
ain't
see.
that short, dude. He ain't that short.
No,
I mean, he's short as fuck, but I think because he's so big, I feel
hey,
intimidated by
that's
him.
boy hat on. Nah.
He's wider than he is tall.
It's the cowboy hat.
And he's strong as hell too.
Damn right he is.
Hey,
Dude is a freak.
yeah, he's awesome. Hey, everybody thinks he's just a showman. Nah, he's actually strong as hell.
Yeah, he's actually a good arm wrestler.
Yeah.
What do we who else we got in here to speculate on their stats?
Roman said 5'6" probably. 172 centimeters. You know he's Russian. He's over here going centimeters.
So I love that he said, what is it? 172 centimeters, like 10 feet.
Yeah, and I like that. Yeah, I'm about 180.
Now I'm fucking 300 centimeters. That don't have the same ring to it. I'm sorry.
No,
if they build me for a fight at the UFC walking out, do not call me 195 centimeters. Please. That sounds like it's fucking as big as fucking lighter is 175 centimeters, right? Like, don't do it to me. You look like a midget walking out there. Shortest arm wrestler in Florida, Marlon or David Rutherford?
No,
Rutherford.
Jeff.
Jeff?
Jeff.
Don't do my dog like that.
I'd say Jeff or Marlon.
No, I don't think Marlon's that small, is he? No,
Marlon's small as fuck, dog.
Yeah, Marlon's short.
No, he's taller than Jeff. I think Jeff told me he's 5'4". I think
Jeff's so goddamn.
I say either Jeff or David.
Yeah, Jeff's
you don't ever see David without his boots on, so it's kind of hard to measure. He wears them tall ass boots.
How diesel and scary is Jeff if Jeff is 6'4"?
Well, I wouldn't have to worry about Jeff anymore if he was 6'4", so I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, he'd be 250 pounds.
Yeah,
he joined in right as we're speculating. Hey, dog, I'm doing you dirty, Jeff. Rewind it. I held you down, but how fucking short are you?
Yeah.
If you're under 5'6", I'm not referring to you as how tall.
He can be 3 foot tall. He'll still whoop my ass in arm wrestling, so I still got respect for him. It don't matter.
Listen, I didn't fucking even know I knew he's short, but y'all are telling me he's the shortest in Florida, and he fucking beat me once. So now I feel some sort of way. I just got beat by the littlest guy.
His fucking
not the littlest, the shortest. Not the littlest, the shortest. He's got bigger biceps than any of us, so that doesn't really matter.
Yeah, he's 5'4".
He's 5. Jeff, respect. He's, you know what, dog? You got to be a confident motherfucker to just say I'm 5'4" and I bench 430 pounds.
If you got arms and forearms like he does, I'd claim whatever I wanted. I mean, Jesus.
I'll trade body types with you, Jeff. I would. You could walk around looking like the Scarecrow, Tin Man, and I'll walk around looking like a little hand grenade.
Like he just did fucking 12 years in the pen.
That's it.
Yeah, he's a scary dude.
Why you guys just picking? Why are we picking on only the shorter guys? Who did we agreed that Taylor is the tallest? How big is Chuck? Chuck's he's a little shorter than me. Maybe 6'1", 6 foot.
That is true.
Artem claims I think Artem is 6 foot or 6'1".
Yeah, Artem's probably around 6'1".
Yeah,
I'll give him 6 foot. He can get that 6'1".
His old Russian ass.
Yeah, he's only gets good credit with me. It's hard to tell how tall people are from down here at 5'10", man. Everybody's 6 foot. They're taller than me. Bastards.
5'10" is easily the that 5'10", 6 foot's probably the best height for arm wrestling.
A little bit of the best of both worlds.
Yeah. Imagine if you were standing on a riser, would you feel better?
No, I've tried it. That shit's terrible.
So
Yeah, I've
my
tried the riser. Risers don't work for me at all.
and that's
It's so
make
awkward.
so that's how I'm standing at the table with the right. It was like you with the
Yeah,
right friends or something similar, you know?
but you have 2 inches of hand length on me, so you can get more height on somebody. I'm standing on a riser tucked down like this, so I don't have the same leverage of height on somebody as well.
Okay. That's a variable I didn't consider.
With the
Yeah,
riser, I'm
the
Hey,
riser
yeah.
don't help your elbow to fingers.
Next
not
time we
close.
ask how tall you are, that's the measurement you give. He said, I'm 5'9" with the riser. Respect.
Yeah, risers work for people sometimes. Like him, if he can get his shoulder behind it, he's super strong. So it probably lets him get up in there a little bit better. But
Would
there's
you
guys like,
would you argue if your opponent used the riser?
no, I don't care. They're going to lose anyways.
I've pulled guys on risers before.
No.
It don't make a difference.
What if it's me?
Go ahead.
You're fine with a tall guy getting the riser?
Yeah,
I'm
you're
putting
good.
you. We're going to the straps anyways, and you're going to beat me. So I don't really care.
Hey, you ain't beating me, dog.
That was
But I,
dark.
but I will still make you ask for a wrist grip.
Okay. I'll oblige. That's how I prefer to start in a ref script in the strap.
Isn't it if you're under the riser can bring you up to like 6 foot or something? It's like there's some kind of weird rule with it, ain't there?
Are there any rules right now? Any
I, I
what's the rules of arm wrestling? I think we're in a state where arm wrestling is being recreated by the younger generation by what really works, right? We
It
can see
depends on what rule set you want to go by. There's 3 different kinds.
there's
yeah,
10
but
different kinds. I got my
I'm
own. Yeah, I mean, when we created FAL, I had my own rule set. We were the first one to do no pushing. That you're responsible for your own elbow off the pad, and all slips go to the straps.
those are two great rules, by the way. All
Or
slip straps. Like that's my
no subjectiveness at all. It's completely clear cut. Oh, what happened? Okay, that's the result. This is
because
happens.
the biggest bullshit in the world is slipping and losing position. If I'm rolling out and someone's coming and I get freaking called for slipping and losing position, I'll never. No, that's the stupidest fucking thing I ever heard in my life.
Yeah, it's retarded. So you would get a point where referees were telling, this is like in the 2010s, teens, they would tell you when you would just, it would literally, the match would come apart, but it wouldn't be center. It would be like right here and come apart. And then they would call, just very calmly, call a winner. You've lost now. And they would explain to you because you opened your hand or you didn't. You need to, and then they would tell you if you want to get away with it, you need to ball your hand up and make it look like it. So you have a point where you're being incentivized to act or not to just have the natural match, right?
Right.
That's some old shit. That's gonna probably, I mean, it should disappear.
Yeah.
I mean, not all promoters are super ballsy to just do what they want, but keeping your elbow on the pad should be another one that super clear, right?
Yeah.
Like it's if you say I shove you off the back because I drove forward and you hit some back pressure at the same moment, that's not my fault. Like in any sport, it is your job to stay in the ring. It is your job to stay on the mat.
Right.
You know, if you can't, you're penalized for it. So that's another one. But that's why I say, like, what the fuck are the rules of arm wrestling? If Larray gets 900 entries at this next tournament, he does. We're using him today, right?
Right.
We still go by the rules of the people that get 80 people at their tournament or 140.
Right.
You know what I'm asking? Like, who fucking makes the rules at this point? There's nobody that's going to have a set of rules that I use. I'm gonna use the thing I think's the best always. I don't care at all about what the United Emirates arm wrestling rule set is and why they're official in Poland. I don't give a fuck about Poland. Okay, I've never been to Poland. I ain't never going to Poland in my life. What I care about is what's not robbing my boy from Florida. And when you say, "Oh, he pushed me off the pad," and he loses, that's horrifying, right? So that's why I say I think we're in a state where there are no the arm wrestling rules are very flexible. It's like street ball right now, even in the most professional scenario. Like, what's the most professional thing we got right now? Say it. King of Table. What's the other one? East versus West.
Yeah.
And fuckers don't use the same rules.
Mm-mm. They have
I
bigger.
can tell you every single league, and they all have a different interpretation of how the King's move should be judged.
Yep.
So I don't, I don't think there are unified rules. And
No, there's not.
this is one
Not
of
even
the
close.
yeah, and MMA, one of the real strong things to be able to get MMA legitimized and everything was to you needed to have a unified rule set. Because you basically without unified what the rule is what makes the game, right? That's the only thing that makes a game specific to itself. It's where it's played in the rule set. If you have all these different variations of the rules, it's a bunch of different variations of the sport. So you don't even really have a unified thing that's happening everywhere. You could turn on 10 channels with 10 arm wrestling and not be able to follow. One of them has running fouls and the match is still going. The other guy, they're calling micro fouls like Mazarenko or, and you're just like, and that's what's killing us too, is we got like 20 variations of arm wrestling and like 18 of them suck.
Yep.
From a spectator standpoint. So I'm all for, if you could, and I know some people will hate to hear this, I would eliminate all referees from the tournament if I could. That's so dope. It's reflecting the background, projecting it on the blade.
As gangster.
But yeah, if I had the chance to create a robotic referee that understood and they were perfection, that would be cool. But what you need to do is fucking say go and let these guys pin each other. Because if we were to sell out the Superdome and we had 40,000 people here and they all paid $100 to watch this, and you end that bitch on fouls, you'd have a riot. You'd have a riot, dog. It would be insane, so you can't even have a product that's sellable when there's a high likelihood that it's just going to end on technicalities. Imagine if we went to the Olympics, Usain Bolt's there, everyone's there, and everybody false starts. There is no game. It's over. That's the equivalent of micro fouls.
Right.
I watched a top 8 before with Rustam Babayev and Tim Bresnan, and every single start, which was like 30 starts, went to a foul. Every single one of them. Go. Every single one go right to foul. Foul, go foul, go foul, go foul. And they would go one foul, one loss, one foul, and just back and forth, the whole shit. So that's an extreme example of what I'm trying to say, right? You got to go to the extreme to prove the point. But there's a lot of little things like that. You've got to get rid of in arm wrestling. Subjectivity in strength sports is absolute bullshit. It doesn't show wrong. What's the worst part of powerlifting? We know what the fuck is the worst part, right? Tell me. The lights. This fat bastard that's sitting on a chair, not lifting any weights, telling me that my squat wasn't low enough. Put a fucking laser to the depth I need to squat and a reflector on my side of my hip, and let's get it.
No.
Activity out of the equation. That's just a rough example on the fly, I'm saying. But that's an example of everything. In strength sports where you're adding subjectivity, it's horrible. Dog, at the other extreme of end of the spectrum is gymnastics, where it's completely subjective. Where I pin you and the referee says you win. It's fucking crazy. That's what running foul was meant to do, was to take away the fouls even. So you have the ref has almost no need to get involved. All he does is when he sees the foul, he said go. The problem was with running foul, nobody remembers it's running foul.
Yeah, and that shit gets
running fouls ever been implemented before the end of one single super match, they will stop a match accidentally because they see the foul and they're used to stopping it. which goes to tell you how fucked up the sport is because we got no unified rules, right? Like you gotta have a rule set that is the same to progress. But anybody that's on the side of more subjectivity by referees is, in my opinion, against true arm wrestling. Because from a spectator standpoint, it's all about pinning the guy, right?
Right.
And from a competitor standpoint, it's all about pinning the guy. And then these guys trained their ass off, and then they didn't even get to pin each other. I've flown across the country to face a guy to foul out. And it's just a hell of a way. Now, the flip side of that is you can't have it just being like the old King of Floridas, where you got like Carl Stanley and Chad Silvers aren't even on the table anymore. Just let it run. That's how he's saying, just let it run. And I miss those days. It was the Wild Wild West. But you can't have absolute lawlessness either. Where is the perfect area? I don't know exactly, but I can tell you that it is not with getting called for getting pushed off the back of the pad or slipping and losing. The other thing that's up for debate is the King's move.
Yeah.
They solved, in my opinion, the fair call, not the one I like. I like the King's move deep. But the fair one is shoulder below in an offensive position or in a defensive position is a foul or it's a warning. But the problem is the King's move doesn't work like that. By the time when it's set, it sets and it gets deeper and deeper.
Yeah.
So by the time he stands up, he was probably a half second from standing up anyways, and he dips back down. And so you end up in a moment where you're just teetering. And in my opinion, for better, if I were a sport, even though it's fucked up to have a guy King's moving just upside down, I would just do that because then I don't have to get involved as a referee. It's still just pin him.
Yeah, that Kingsmanship below there sucks because when you're going to hit on someone and they do that and they drop, they still get the full advantage of going down below with the shoulder. So they still stop you. And then you already cracked your wrist trying to go for that pin. If they didn't go below that, then you probably would have got the pin. So you still get an advantage without getting in trouble by dropping below in a defensive position.
A lot of people don't know that they did this with the top rolling in the 70s and shit. Arm wrestling had no top roll. You started gripped up. If you rolled out and you slipped out, they would start you in a power hook, in an inside in a hook, and they would call it a power lock. And then you would go from there. And if you rolled out from there, it was a loss. So it was the same thing. I guarantee you they were calling variations of the top roll foul that, like you said, oh, he rolled out on me. He did that. Now you fucking roll out as wide as you want, You can Cobra Rhodes if, the widest.
Yeah, I do love the
world.
I just hate when people go below to get the stop and they stop you. Your wrist is cracked because they went down straight in their arm and then they come back up and you're already sitting like this trying to, that's the only shitty part because you don't really call a foul.
Let's think about this because it's a weapon, right? We're arguing, is it an unfair weapon? If I got into a fight with you and I stabbed you while you have this thing, do you get to complain that I stabbed you?
No. Well, I mean, I'm a little bit.
Everybody has the right to King's move. It's not like they're saying you can't King's move, but you can. That would be absolutely disrespectful. That would be unfair. But we're talking about equal opportunity here.
Yeah,
it's just unfair because the rule will go both ways.
No, the King's move is perfectly fair, and it's a very hard move to actually do when done the way it's supposed to be done.
Sure.
It's just when you go and you blast somebody and they drop all the way down below the defensive and they have the straight arm block and their body don't tear off and they stop you like that. Instead of getting a foul, they're told to stand up. Your wrist is already cracked because they bone locked you, so it's kind of shitty from an offensive standpoint of hitting someone and they do an illegal move to stop you. And now you're fucked because your wrist is back, your hand's blowed up and they stopped you at something that shouldn't have been.
You're the promoter. You own the league. We have a sit down. How you handle this right now? You got to settle it. How do you handle the King's move right now? Make your judgment call. How's it running at the Garage Grinder Classic this year?
Shoulder drops below. foul.
Okay, you keep this subjectivity in it, is what I'm asking. That's one of the things you believe subjectivity has to stay, because that's a judgment call.
Well, would it be a judgment call if you could see them below the table and they're in a defensive
Oh,
position?
foul. Okay, I'm sorry. When it's a warning, it begins at like a teeter-totter judgment call. A foul, a direct foul, yes. If it's a foul and we stay true, there is no subjectivity. That is clear as day.
Yeah. Well, because the warning thing, you see it and you get a warning, and then you're told to stand up, but then it's 3 seconds. Then you come up a little bit, and then they surge because you come up and the pressure releases, but then all of a sudden they drop back down and it's warning and you stand up, but then you're sitting there trying to bury this dude, and 2 or 3 surges before they get the foul, you're smoked for the rest of the tournament. And you got caught with 3 illegal hits. And what do you do if you let
let's say I just take your wrists and I refuse to pin you. You're also smoked for the tournament.
Yeah, but that's not doing an illegal move to get there.
Oh, okay. You're saying if they don't call it, it has screwed you out of the tournament.
He's saying, be a man, take my hand, don't drop under the table and do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm all for that. What you have to do to make that's a beautiful rule, and it takes away the subjectivity. And you got to keep your ref though, where once it's below, foul. Now the question is, that's offensive or defensive? Your position.
Offensive, you should put a hang off the table however you want. But as soon as it goes past, you have to come up with it.
Well, almost everybody that's a top roller is going to pin with their head parallel to the table or below anyways. So most people don't realize it. Their shoulders below offensively in a top roll a lot of the times finishing.
Almost every time.
Yeah, exactly. You have a great defensive King's move, like a King's hook you kind of do. It's terrible to deal with.
And that's what happens when you got half a bicep just hanging on.
And if you're going to halfway, wham, you're taking the surges, that's not a big deal. But once you're over here, you have to come up. That's what
John, I had to listen. At this, my locking point before I tore my bicep off was out here. It was already at 45, 50. It was already out. That bicep went, it's about here now. That's it. It don't even slow down till I'm 100 degrees open.
Yeah. But and that's fine. You're sitting nice here all day. That's cool. As long as you're not that bone lock shit like you see happen sometimes. That it's happened to me before with people go straight arm, and you do 2 or 3 surges against someone that goes straight arm on you and you don't pin them. Man, that's terrible. If you have to surge 2 or 3 times, you're usually fucked. If you're really surging on somebody.
If you were to make this argument, I would have your back and state that this is probably the logical solution. Because the King's move is you have to tame it somewhat. Otherwise, you end up with 2 guys underneath the table, both Kings moving, and they can't pin each other.
Yeah. Well, it's a very advanced move when done correctly. It's not easy to King move somebody, but it's really easy to bone lock somebody and your bicep not tear or whatever. And if you get it and you don't get hurt, it's very strong, but if you actually do a King's move and you're kicking back.
The way you described it, I would almost argue that he deserves the stops for making the high risk move.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
I'm playing devil's advocate. My bad. Here's another thing no one's talking about in arm wrestling that should be fixed. Center table pins. Horrible. You'll get 2 guys sometimes into a deep twist, and they will pin each other in the center. Usually when it happens where both guys' shoulders are up, they will call whose hand is on top sometimes. And then other times they do, if the guys are stretched out, it might look like 2 Kings moves. It'll usually not be a Kings move, though. It'll be like how Kevin Sams or Tim Lewis hooks, 2 drag hookers.
Now, are you saying getting rid of the center table pin, or?
Well, it should be addressed. It should be addressed because that's way too subjective. That's another thing that gets called like no one's very sure.
Yeah, well,
and when we done our than our certifications, if it's center of the table, you just restart the match. Nothing happens. It's just a restart.
Now, is centered the table from pad corner to pad corner, or is that from?
Yes, it's supposed to be pad corner to pad corner.
Yeah, because I got called for that in California, and that was bullshit. But
Okay. That I like the way that that's handled. Then I didn't know that's the official call. So the space
That's
between the
how
elbow
Tim
pads,
Talmadge and Luke done ours.
the
yeah,
gap, the gap between the offset,
Pad. Yep. It's on offset of the pads.
that's considered center. So anything over that line, left to right, would be a victory.
Yep.
so if you're slipping underneath and someone buries you down, like you fall together in the center to that center table. Other than that, it'd be hard to pin. But it's for the guys, I guess, that dive under.
Weird, because I lose to Austin a lot in the center, very center of the table. I mean, not say he can't pin me to the side, but a lot of the times when he will pin me, I'll be on his side of the table, and he will he'll pin me. That's how I know you're foul. That's how I know it, Austin, because you're pinning me to your own elbow pad. When my hand hits, it's hitting your elbow pad. You got to be off the pad. But no, so a lot of times he'll just hit me with this.
Yeah.
And I would argue that he decisively won. But I might be able to argue you're saying that if it was in the center, that's not.
I mean, it's depending on what ref you get. I mean, every ref's going to be, they're going to call it a little bit. Oh, it was, an inch on this side of the pad, inch on that side of the pad. I mean, you got to be inside. Both hands got to be inside the elbow pads. So that's another one of them not very, very clear rules.
Okay, I'm going to give you a scenario. Trent, I forgot that you're a certified ref here and we're having the discussion. So
test his knowledge.
Okay. Me and you, we're arm wrestling. You take my hand. And I'm sorry, I take your hand and you go to press me. As you're pressing me, I drive forward and I make our hands contact your shoulder. What is the call?
It's gonna be a foul on me because if my hand touches my shoulder, it's a foul on me.
But it's not. So it's your job to keep your hand away from your shoulder at all times, but it's not your job to keep your elbow on the pad at all times. That's the contradiction that I'm bringing out.
That's an issue.
Yeah. So I like the way that that's handled. And no matter what, even if I drive forward now, is there a stipulation? And what the rules you're stating are the WAF rules, or is it the IFA?
WAF rules, I think.
Okay. Again, exactly back to my point. We're not even fucking sure. We got so many rule sets that it's confusing as hell. And Trent's one of the best refs in Florida, if not the best. Mark Mensch, another badass ref. We actually got a bunch of great ones. Chance, even though he hates me, he does a good job.
Hey, let's just keep it. Trent's the best ref. All right, let's just keep it there. I like that.
In a scenario where you have to protect your own shoulder, but you don't have to protect your own elbow. You see, now is there a special thing for gross negligence? Like I just obviously do it. I'm gonna lose the match, so I force it.
I don't think there's any rule against that.
But it's against force, but it is subjective on the elbow call.
I mean, even now that Chance is running FAL, we pretty much still, it's your responsibility to keep your elbow on the pad. So if me and you get in a war and you're running across the back of it and I notice it and I shove you off, you're still getting the elbow foul because it's your fault. That's how I call them anyways. That's how we've always called them.
Speaking of FAL, how do you feel about the $50 entry fee now? I wanted to, I just noticed that today.
I just ref, bro. I just ref.
Oh God, is this where hey, listen, I want to tell everyone in Florida something here. We are way tougher than this. You guys do not need to get offended easily.
Oh, I don't get offended about
If
nothing.
there is an elephant in the room, we can talk about it, right? If suddenly shit just got a little more expensive, we could talk about it. It's okay. I ain't hating, buddy.
If you're asking me if I would pay that, probably not. I would never charge somebody $50 to come almost at my tournaments. But if people are willing to pay it, and that's what he wants to do, that's
I'm
fine.
just curious how, listen, dude, this is the fucking Florida arm wrestling show. Okay.
Oh, I agree.
If I do some shit and suddenly and it looks a little bit like it might be a money grab, you're allowed to say, hey, Brandon, what's up with that new $20 spectator fee? That's okay. Well, and I'm not saying
Trent doesn't pay for entry fees usually, right? So it really mattered.
And listen, and guys, listen to, remember, I created the effort. I'm not hating and saying it's not worth the value. In my opinion, if something you love something, it's worth whatever you're willing to spend. You ask me how much is my dirt bike, it's worth exactly what the fuck I'll take for it. Whatever I'm willing or what so, but that being said, I seen it went to 50.
Now, was that only for the first tournament because of what it is? Or is that for
I couldn't speak on that. I'm not sure. It said on that $50 entry and a $10 spectator fee.
Yep. It does say that.
It's probably going to be just for, I see it being just for East versus West. $40-$45, I could probably see it becoming, but it's probably just because it's the East versus West qualifier and it's
I don't know. And maybe Chance and them are watching this. Maybe they adjust to what we're saying. I don't know or care. But I would say with that hotel venue, I could see them charging people to go in there because someone's probably paying that bill.
Yeah.
I'm just speaking from a business standpoint, how I would fucking make it work, right? If I got to come out of pocket for that, like my structure is a little different. I work profit sharing with the venues where, we're going to bring a bunch of business to them. And then if they can help sponsor some stuff and be, we work with the places. When you're doing what they're doing, and remember, guys, I'm not talking no shit, but what they're doing is renting out a venue. I assume maybe they have a beautiful connect. They know the president. Dan's so connected, he probably is getting it for free. But with that structure, and you're walking up into a building, I could see it. We charged a $5 spectator fee at the at Pro Gear the first time, and then we never did it again. So I don't have an opinion based upon whether it's right or wrong. I don't really, it's not my job to watch someone's pockets and decide what they charge for their product. But the $50 entry fee is different than the $10 spectator fee is, listen, if I tax your grandma or if he taxes your grandma, that's whatever. You didn't come to my show. But the $50 entry fee represents like a bar raise, right? Like that's the bar has notched again. When I started arm wrestling was $20. And I'm not saying inflation's awesome. I think arm wrestling should be about $100 per entry because the prize pool could be great. We could give away vehicles. We could give away cool shit. If you get 100 guys paying $100, you've got $10,000 you could put into the promotion. When you're doing it little $30-$40, like it's just a few grand. There's not that much money in the pool to actually play with. But so that's just my argument that arm wrestling should be quite high. It would make it much more high stakes, what we truly like, if we could and shit.
This is my opinion on it. Not saying it's Chance, it could be you, could be anybody. If you're going to charge $50, $60, $75,
let's just use the word Brandon. Let's use the word Brandon so we don't offend no one.
All right. Let's say you're telling me, hey, I'm going to start doing all my tournaments at $60 an entry fee, but you're bringing in people from other states or other countries and setting up big super matches. Hell yeah, I'm going to pay $60 or $70 to come watch some super matches and
like the Ray Jenkins round robin.
Yeah, I'm spending $100 plus whatever it costs me to get there. Because sure. I get to see hopefully potentially some of the baddest dudes in the country arm wrestle each other. But if it's going to be, at a local bar and you're paying out $150 for first place and second and third are getting $10 medals, I'm going to tell you to take that $70 and shut up your ass. I ain't coming because it's not worth it to me. But if you're bringing in John Brezink and Devin Larrett and Jerry Cataract and all these other guys, and I get to meet them and hang out with them and arm wrestle with them, yeah, why not? I'll spend. You can go to a restaurant and buy a dinner and a couple of beers, and you're gonna spend 70, $80 anyways. So why not do that? Because we love the sport. But it depends on all what you do with it. Is where I think it'll come into play. No matter who does it.
No, I agree 100%. It's this is the thing, man. It's already an expensive thing coming out here, taking the day off of work, coming out with the family. But yeah, I was just curious to see how people felt about it. What we are going to do, because all four of the arm wrestlers, we're going to reduce our price now. The double entry will get you $10 off, and we will do 2 entries for $70. Because I think actually we should either do the opposite. We need to charge $100, or we need to all just be doing it for free with no prizes, right? But yeah, so it is what it is. When I see that 50, I mean, there's a point, right? I'm cheap. The point you cross $20, I don't want the meal. I don't. If it's $22, I'm good. Right? If it's $18.99, I'm all in. I'll take 3 of them. And that's
John. I don't know. John took me out to dinner one time. My bill was $100. So
man,
don't go eat dinner with John.
Never took me out to dinner. All right. Next date is on you, John.
Hey, I couldn't even eat that day. I was all messed up. I was eating a salad.
He ate a fucking salad.
Yeah, it was terrible.
I'll tell you.
We fixing to go to Puerto Rico and eat some good food.
Ain't that the truth? The next event, Flow Arm, January 13th. How many days away are we, John?
We are 3 weeks away, a little less than 3 weeks away.
Okay, he fucked it up. We are 17 days away from the Strong Arm Challenge 10. This tournament is the second longest running tournament in Florida.
Y'all two aren't pulling, right?
I highly doubt that I will be there to arm wrestle unless I need to fill in. But I might use it as a little warm-up practice.
I swear to God, if either one of y'all go and get hurt, I'm putting my foot right up y'all's asses.
I don't get hurt. I hurt motherfuckers, okay? Get it correct. I do hurt.
And hey, I'm going to live in a bubble for about 3 weeks before I go.
Good. That's what I want to hear.
Like, who do you think I am? Daniel fucking Worley?
I don't know. Every time we arm wrestle, you walk away with your elbow, grabbing your elbow like your pride's hurting. I don't know.
That's because I won. I won. I got to fucking rub it down for the next guy. I'm still in the tournament, dog. That's why I'm walking away rubbing it. I'm still in this bitch. Get out of here.
So make sure you ain't hurting anything.
I respect that. We ain't gonna get hurt. What did he say? I like the weight classes for FAL. Oh yeah, it does have a
yeah, it's the 165, 187, 209 weight classes.
I think that's
enough
with
the
weight classes, right?
The Flow Arm Hangout. Enough free promotion.
I think that's the Ingen weight classes, aren't they?
Yeah, that's why they're doing it.
Yeah.
Hey, Flow Arm's where it's at.
You never know. I might go to Puerto Rico, whoop this dude's ass, and then go show up at FAL and sign up and get me a spot at East versus West qualifiers. You never know. I've been training again. You never know.
You never know. You never know. I'd like to see
Jerry and Joe don't show up, might have a chance.
You sounded more redneck every day as they go.
Never.
Exactly. You're turning into Boomhauer at this point.
Damn right.
Fucking Dale Earnhardt and Boomhauer had a baby named Trent Johns.
They did. Oh, he's got 2 first names. So you know he's a killer. We got the Flow Arm Champion Letterman jackets. These are the varsity style jackets, the wool poly design, super badass, real high quality. These are going to be awarded to the champions at the Flow Arm Strong Arm Challenge. We've also got a few of these without the champion on the back if you're not going to attend, that are for purchase in the shop. Extremely affordable. I think they're priced at like $54.99 right now. As the stock goes lower, they will move closer towards $90, but right now they're in there very affordable. It's about 3 of each size for purchase. But we got those. The next event is only a few days away. If there's any last questions, we're going to wrap this up pretty quickly. Chad says spectator fee or free on your event on the 13th. Absolutely free for spectators. Bring 100 people with you if you want. We're going to have the news down there. Going to be interviewing people. I already talked to the station. Couple cool things. Definitely check it out. It's going to be a fun time. Everybody knows Q4. It's going to be off the hook. We got so much new promotional stuff, so much we're having new lighting out there, new banners, new everything. So we're putting some dough into the show, making it look good. Definitely going to live stream it. And don't forget to check out the Puerto Rico Arm Wrestling League, one of the hottest things happening in arm wrestling. We intend to take over the entire Caribbean, one island at a time. We're starting with Puerto Rico. 6-part series, King of Puerto Rico, January 27th. That's about 4.5 weeks away. And all these guys right here got some matches, as well as a bunch of Florida guys. We are all taking on different guys from Puerto Rico. So check it out, like, subscribe, holler at us, and check out the merch shop. Y'all be easy.